Hello guys, welcome back to the class. In the previous class, you know or you have learned what is the data and how much important the data security is to drive the business, and how much important the data security is in this computing world or IT domain or any business world where digital communications or network communications or networking is used particularly. Not it's just related to a software development, whether it is a medical field or research or anything where the data lies, security must be needed to secure your business or secure your assets, digital assets or intellectual property, etc. So you know what is the data, and you also know what is the security from the previous module, first module, where you have learned the definition of the term security. But just to recap once, security is implementing certain methodologies or standard procedures or practices to mitigate cyber attacks completely, if not to reduce the impact of cyber attacks to as low as possible. That's what a security is. Saying so, this course is all about exploiting the security. For that, you need to have certain questions answered, like where is the security implemented on the network? How strong is the security implemented? And are there any vulnerabilities, bugs, loopholes that are currently existing in the network or target systems or applications? Answers to such questions are very much important, and to understand these questions or the scenario, to understand the security implementations on network, to conduct penetration testing, I am taking a scenario that you are going to see in this slide. So in this slide, you are looking at a network diagram of a small or a medium range company, and the company has few networking devices like firewall, router, switches, and quite a few number of workstations of different departments like department number 1 and department number 2. And a switch is connected to a network and system administrator, and another switch has some servers like web servers, email servers, and DNS server. It has a Wi-Fi router, and few mobile devices are connected wirelessly. So this is a typical network diagram of a small or a medium range companies. And in this image, I have not given you any other information except showing the network diagram and devices that are part of the network. Now I want you to hack into the company or conduct penetration testing of the company's network and find the bugs or loopholes in order to secure the company's network. This is your assignment, or you call it mission. So what will you do? You need to gather information and find the loopholes, and also find where the security is implemented perfectly. I mean highest security is implemented, and where the security is low, like on workstations security may be low. So there is a lot of work that must be exercised before acting to perform the exploitation. So to understand how much work must be done, and time and effort and resources needed to be put or allocated in doing this job. So to make you understand, I will again relate it to a general scenario or a real-time scenario, so that you will understand how much time along with the efforts and knowledge that is required to complete this mission or to complete this penetration testing. In this slide, you are seeing at a colony. This house is your target, and your mission is to intrude into the house and steal the valuables like trade related documents kept in the safety locker that generally we do. And what will you do to accomplish this mission or to intrude into the house and steal the documents? You cannot simply go into the house, as security guards, if present, may prevent you entering into the gate, or owners of the house may not invite you or allow you into the house. Obviously, if you are a stranger, no one will allow you into the house. Or you need to jump over the wall, assume there is a wall, and climb the upstairs or search for the backdoor entries. But still, in spite of doing this, you may be monitored via CCTV cameras. Moreover, the target house is near to the park where people often comes for spending some time mornings and evenings. And there is a hospital in the same street. Obviously, traffic will be more in the street, and there is a police station few blocks away. So daytime may not be possible for an attack. I mean to intrude into the house. So choosing a right time for an attack is very much important. So to get enough information about the house, you need to do lot of work like renting into the neighbor house as a tenant and spying on the house, like who are living in the house, what are their profiles, who are the maids of the house, who is the paper boy, who are the visitors coming into the house, relatives, etc. and what time do they come and what time do they go, at what time patrolling vehicle of the police station patrols the street, and getting this much amount of information may take weeks and sometimes months depending upon the security of the house. And if everything is favoring you, you can intrude into the house and break the safety locker, take the documents or the valuables for which you have intruded into the house, and simply escape from the place. So your attack on the house or intrusion into the house and stealing the documents may take somewhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes depending upon the complexity. And now relating it to a computing world, to conduct penetration testing, gathering information about the target, the network you have seen, may take a lot of time and patience, but exploitation or exploiting of that network or any of the device may take very less time comparatively. So while explaining you the real-time scenario, you must have observed some terms like or some words like monitoring, spying, backdoor, and what safety locker, and CCTV cameras, police patrolling, etc. So if you relate these words to the network diagram shown, monitoring can be related to a network monitoring or network traffic monitoring. Spying may be related to eavesdropping of the network, like MITM attacks. Don't worry about MITM, it's man in the middle. I will explain later in the course. Then backdoor. Backdoor is backdoor entry that you have already learned in terminologies. And CCTV camera can be related to intrusion detection systems. Like in CCTV cameras, your activity is monitored. Of course, you may not be prevented at that time, but you may be monitored. So CCTV cameras can be related to intrusion detection systems, and police patrolling can be related to a network traffic monitoring again, and also can be related to a intrusion prevention systems. Like if police is continuously patrolling the area, you may be prevented from the intrusion. And safety locker can be related to DMZ or demilitarized zone, and escaping from the scene. So after grabbing the documents, you need to escape from the scene without leaving the footprints of your attack. So that is nothing but clearing logs when you relate it to attacks on the network. So generally attackers clear logs when they attack on the targets. So after comparing the real-time scenario to a network scenario and comparing the terms of the real-time scenario to a network scenario, you might have clear understanding of nature of the work involved in penetration testing or performing penetration testing. Now see this slide. This is only a network diagram you have seen earlier, right? Now this is a complete picture of a network diagram with the details of the devices, softwares or firmwares installed on them, and applications installed on the network systems like computer systems. So complete details of the network diagram is now shown. So now your mission is to hack into this network, and you have complete detail of this network with detailed information of the devices and softwares installed on them. So these are the networking devices, and the company has internet connection from internet cloud from ISP, and in between there is a Cisco ASA, that is Advanced Security Appliance, with IOS Internet Networking Operating System installed on that device or appliance, which has version number X. I have not mentioned any version number, and it is connected to a Cisco 5000 series router, again which has 3 switches connected to the router, of which 2 switches are 2960 series, and another switch is Cisco Catalyst 3560, which has servers like web server, email server and DNS server connected to the switch. And when it comes to Cisco 2960 switch, it has some workstations of some department with Windows 8 operating system, and another switch has some other workstations like some other X department, like say for example finance department or a development department, which has n number of Windows 10 operating systems machines. And also there are two other machines that are related to a network administrator and a system administrator. So network admin will admin the entire network, while the system administrator will work with systems like, if you have Microsoft's Active Directory services installed and configured. So system administrator will manage all the systems and user accounts, user policies, security policies of that entire network systems or workstations, I mean. So this is how you have this entire network. Now when it comes to server, web server has Apache web server of 2.4 version and port number 80 or 443 might be open. Similarly, they have email server of Jimbra email server on a Red Hat machine, not Windows but Red Hat operating system, of version numbers maybe 7.2.8, and DNS server of Mana DNS 3.5 version and port number 53 is open. So this is the entire network. So there are 3 servers, 3 switches, a router, and the Cisco's advanced security appliance with a Wi-Fi router is also there in the network. So you need to hack this network using any entry point or any loophole. So you need to gather as much information as possible of this network, so that you will find at least one loophole that will allow you to get inside the network or into the network, so that later you can compromise the entire network and show the results to your client. So say for example, this is Apache web server over here. This is Apache web server of version 2.4. Now you can go to a Google website and type Apache 2.4 vulnerabilities, and you can see the search results over here. If you click on the second link, that is cvedetails.com, you can find a lot of vulnerabilities like here XSS vulnerabilities and all the listed vulnerabilities. This is the vulnerability type, vulnerability code. CVE means common vulnerabilities and exposure, and CVE is listing common vulnerabilities in dictionary fashion. So that is what CVE means, common vulnerabilities and exposure. And you can see there are list of vulnerabilities and vulnerability codes with type of vulnerabilities like whether it is XSS or info gathering or other type of vulnerabilities, publish date, update date, and the score. Then whether what level you can gain access using that vulnerability if you attack, and the complexity, whether it's a low complexity or medium or high, and whether authentication is required or not, and so on. And similarly, if you type Zimbra vulnerabilities in the Google page, you can see the list of vulnerabilities over here. Again, these are the type of vulnerabilities like XSS directory traversal, and most of them are XSS, and here is CSRF, cross-site request forgery attack, and so on. So again, you can see publish date, type of vulnerability, score, access level that you can gain, and what type of access you can get, and complexity of the vulnerability or attack if conducted, and so on. And if you click on one of these vulnerabilities, like I'm clicking on number 30, which is unspecified vulnerability in Zebra collaboration with version number 7.2.5. If you see over here, it is actually 7.2.8, but here the vulnerability relates to 7.2.5 but not 8. And the CVSS score is 10. It means that vulnerability is more severe. And in similar fashion, you can search vulnerabilities of DNS server, Cisco device vulnerabilities, system vulnerabilities, Wi-Fi router vulnerabilities, etc. For all these things, you need to do scanning. That entire network should be scanned. You need to enumerate all possible services running on the systems and devices, ports open, etc. So obviously, gathering information about your target, whether target is a network, application or a system, the amount of time taken will be very huge. After finding the vulnerability based on your information gathering, you will perform an attack or exploit your target, and if attack is successful or failed attack, you will document each and every work you have done, so that you can report the vulnerabilities found and exploited, and you will also write what are the patches or what are the mitigation techniques or measures that are needed to implement so that you can secure the network. So this is a basic understanding of hacking or penetration testing. So now you might have clear understanding of what do ethical hackers do. As an ethical hacker or penetration tester, you will conduct an evaluation of complete network to seek the following questions, answers to the following questions, like what are the vulnerabilities in the target network that is shown in this slide or the target of evaluation, and as an intruder or attacker, what can you see on the network, means what vulnerabilities can you find out, and how you can exploit the target network or the target application with the vulnerabilities that you have found or that you have seen. How can you mitigate those vulnerabilities or how can you patch those vulnerabilities. And it is also important that as an intruder or as an attacker, when you are performing an attack, you must also keep a notice that whether someone is noticing your activity or noticing your penetration testing, because whenever you are attacking, network security admin can keep monitoring the network traffic and he might or he can log your activity and he might also prevent you from performing the attack or penetration testing. So based on the lecture of this class, you might understand or you might have a clear picture how much knowledge you must acquire to become a professional pen tester. So in the further classes, we will learn the complete knowledge that is needed to become a professional penetration tester. Thank you for watching the video and do subscribe to the YouTube channel INSECTECHS.